Today I'm going to show you how to make crunchy and flaky beef samosas, but very moist in the inside. To begin, I have my ingredients here, and first one is the beef. It's cut into pieces. I have my food processor here, so I usually grind my beef. So I use the food processor to grind it and also to grind the vegetables. So here is my beef. And I have cilantro, and then I do have red bell pepper for the moisture in the beef and the flavor. And then I have the green bell pepper, also adds flavor. And then I have green onions and the red onions. And kind of my secret ingredient, I have my ginger. So this is ginger, fresh ginger. It's blended and then frozen, so I'll just use 1 cube. And then I have black pepper, I have coriander, I have turmeric and curry powder. These two usually go together for me. And then I have paprika for color, I have sea salt to taste, and there are these 2 ingredients that I always have to include in most of my dishes. So I have the beef chili and the beef masala. And for that spicy taste, in addition to the black pepper, I have hot chili. So these are my ingredients, and now the first thing that I need to do is grind my beef. And here I am ready to grind my beef. And that is ready. And at this time, I'll just go ahead and boil the beef for like 10 to 15 minutes. The water should drain. And I'll just go ahead and cover it. It's gonna take around 10 to 15 minutes. And now I let it boil for about 10 to 15 minutes. And as you can see, it's dry. So from here, I just want to start adding my seasonings. I'm gonna add paprika, just 1 teaspoon. I'm gonna add coriander, just about 1 teaspoon. Curry powder, just about 1.5 teaspoons. And I'm adding turmeric, just a little bit, like 1/4 teaspoon, because turmeric is very strong. And then black pepper, just 1/4 teaspoon. The next thing, I'm gonna mix it. And the next thing I'm adding is my beef masala. Just gonna add 1 teaspoon. And then salt to taste, just 1/2 teaspoon. and the chili powder, just a little bit, don't put so much. Then the next thing, I'll just go ahead and mix it. And then next, I'm gonna be adding onions. Yeah, at this point, I'm gonna add my onions. And I'll just mix them. As you can see, I added the onions and they are now cooked. I just keep mixing to allow them cook really well. And at this time, I just want to add cilantro and the green onions. Here are my green onions. I'm gonna add them. And then I have my cilantro. The next thing I'm gonna do is just mix them. It looks really yummy and it smells super yummy. It's very colorful. The greens have blended in really well. And at this point, I'll just go ahead and put off the fire and let it settle for a little bit while I make the paste. So the next process is making the paste. That paste is what's gonna make my beef very moist and add flavor, more flavor to it. So let's make the paste. So to make the paste that I'm gonna add to my samosa filling, I have my ginger cube here. I'm gonna blend it here. I have the red bell pepper that I showed you earlier. I have cilantro and I have green bell pepper. So I just need to blend this so that it makes a paste. It's not gonna blend so fine because I need the particles. That's why I'm using a food processor. If I use a blender, it's gonna make it really like a smoothie, and I don't want it like a smoothie. So let's go ahead and grind this. Okay, and it's done. And as you can see, it's just chopped. It's not really blended because I want the particles. I don't want something like a smoothie. I just want it really finely chopped like that. So from here, I'll bring this to boil for a little bit with seasonings so that it forms kind of a paste. And that paste, I'll add it to my beef to make my beef more flavorful and very moist. Yeah, and to boil my paste, I just put a little bit of onions and oil, and then adding this vegetable mixture. After adding this, I just go ahead and mix. And the next thing, I'll season it. So the same seasonings I used on the beef, I'll just add them here, including the paprika. And then there's one more seasoning that I'm gonna add here that I didn't use on the beef. So that's basically my secret ingredient because it makes a huge difference. So I'm gonna add my last ingredient. That's my recipe changer. It makes a huge difference. I'll just use 1 cube. And I'll just mix. It's gonna melt inside the paste. See, it's already melted. And this is the paste. So once I add this to my beef, it's gonna get really moist and very tasty. This is a combination of vegetables, so it adds nutrients and it adds flavor and the moisture to my samosas. It looks really good. And this is done. Just turn it off. Then the next thing, I'll add it to the beef that I already made. And here I have the beef. I'll just go ahead and have the paste added. Add all of it. You can see now it's adding the moisture and the flavor. And now you can even feel it. It's super moist. And that's how I make my beef samosa filling. The paste makes a whole difference for me because it adds flavor and the moisture. So this samosa, even if I just wrap it and cook it later and make the samosas later, it's still gonna be moist. And the next step now is to make the samosa wraps. And I have my ingredients here. I have all-purpose flour. This is 3 cups. I have an extra flour here for rolling. And then I have olive oil. Olive oil is necessary because I use it to knead the flour to give me that flaky texture on the wraps. And then I'm gonna use salt too, just to add a little bit of taste. And I have lukewarm water, and I have this seasoning. It's called anjuan seeds. I use it mostly on the vegetable samosas, but on the beef I use very small amount because the seasonings that I already used on the beef filling are very strong. So if I put a lot of this that is so distinct, there's gonna be a conflict there. It's gonna be an imbalance on my flavors. So I'm going to use very small amount of it. So let's begin. Okay, so I'll just go ahead and add the seasoning, very small amount, and then the salt, just small amount because you don't want the salt to come out. And then the next thing I'm adding is olive oil. So I just add it as I mix it and rub it and see the way it's forming. The moment I get the texture that I need, I'm gonna stop adding, just adding bit by bit. See, it's coming out. It's beginning to form the texture that I need. Just a little bit more there. And you can see now it's formed. It's already formed the flaky look. So the next thing I'm gonna add is my lukewarm water. So I'll just add as I mix because I don't want the water to overpower my mixture. Still need a little bit more. Yeah, and now I have it mixed together here. It's good. And from here, what I'm gonna do is just divide them into very small pieces like this, that I'm sure this can give me like 4 samosas. So I'll just go ahead and pack them into small pieces and then start rolling them. And again, I'll be using my griddle because it makes me do things much faster. I can put multiple of them at a time. And now I have my pieces together. So you can see they're all divided into small pieces. So I'll just be rolling them one by one, cutting them into 4 pieces and heat them on my griddle just to make it hold together and not be runny. So let's go. Okay, now I'm gonna roll this. Just roll it flat into a circle. If you're seeing the dark spots, those are the seasonings. So I don't want it thin, so thin. I want it a little bit thicker to give me the crunchy, flaky flavor. Texture, I mean. And to get that flaky texture, I don't roll them so thin. And the next thing, I just cut these into 4 pieces. Put them on my griddle. I have it set to 200. Then I do another one. I'll just add flour so that they don't stick on the surface. can always size them to whatever size you like. If you like the small ones, that's okay. For larger samosas, that's still okay. So these ones that I put here earlier, they are ready. I don't want them to cook. It's just making them hold. And now I have my samosa wraps. As you can see, they are not dry. They're very soft and not running. They're being held together now because I just put them on the griddle for a little bit. And here. So from here, the next thing you can go ahead, fold them and put your fillings, or if you do not have time, you can just put these in a Ziploc and put them in your fridge and use them the next day. So for you to get them to the normal texture after you get them from the fridge, you'll just have to warm them just for maybe 10 seconds in a microwave. So this is it. These are my samosa wraps, and as you can see, they're not so thin, they're not so thick. So when they get deep fried, they give that flaky taste because of using the olive oil. And this is it. I always squeeze these corners because I do not want any holes. If they have any holes, when I deep fry, the oil is gonna go inside, and even the filling inside can easily pop out and make the oil splash. Just do the next one. And here. The beef is holding it. And I'm using just the paste that I made using all-purpose flour. And there it is. So I'll just do the same process on these ones until they're all done. And now I have my beef samosas wrapped already. They're here, ready for deep frying. As you can see, they're all done, ready for deep frying in the oil. So let's move to the next step. And the next step here, my oil is ready. It's just to deep fry them. Just keep turning. And always ensure your heat is on a medium, because if you make them super hot, if you make your heat too hot, they're just gonna turn the moment you dip them in the oil. So with this kind of wrap, they take a little bit longer to cook, so I'll just give them time. They take a little bit of time in the oil for them to come out crunchy and flaky. You see the flakes are already forming, but for the wrap to cook, because it was a little bit heavy, they take a little bit longer in the oil. So what I do is just keep turning to ensure they are cooking evenly. Yeah, and you see they are already turning golden brown. That means they are almost ready. Just turn them one more time for all the sides to cook evenly. I just need them a bit like golden brown, light golden brown, not so brown. Because if they turn darker than this one, that means they're going to be burnt. So it needs to go back a little bit. And even if I knock them like this, I can feel they are hard. It means they're really crunchy. And they are ready. I'll just get them out. This one you can see it's ready. So it is ready. They look really good. The color, I love this color. This is the perfect color. And here I have my fried beef samosas. You can see they look super yummy, very flaky, as you can see from the wrap. It's very flaky. Look at those, very flaky and crunchy at the same time. And just to prove it, I can just break one here. I told you with my beef filling it's gonna be very moist in the inside, and there it is. You see, very moist and flaky. You can see the flakes are just coming out. See, and its inside is very, very moist. You look at my beef, very moist and very tasty at the same time. Super yummy. To keep learning more, keep subscribing to my YouTube channel, Chef Lily Ronga. Till next time.